Hey, what's up YouTube? It's KHG back again with some more Warhammer. Today I have a request by Chazref, hopefully I'm saying that right, and Lorgar. They were chatting with me on the stream and they requested the Chaos Marines. Now they told me that Baltimore has some good information on the Chaos Marines, but I don't know who they are or what they are. So in my research, I came across 40K Theories video, 40K lore for newcomers. What are the Chaos Marines? So that's a video that we're gonna watch today. And it's a pretty short one at 14 minutes, so I don't think we need any popcorn today. Also, I've just got my live stream set up, working the way that I want to, so I'm gonna start doing some gameplay live streams. And I might need your help because I just downloaded the 40K Space Marines game, man. And it already looks like it's gonna be hell to pay. I haven't played it yet. I'm gonna wait till I live stream tomorrow to get into it. Anyway, I'm trying to keep this intro short, so let's get into the video. All right. All right, y'all. Yeah,
hello everyone, this is Remlays from 40K Theories, and welcome to this new episode of 40K Lore for Newcomers. For this episode, we will be taking a brief look at the Chaos Space Marines of the Traitor Legions. As always, this is a brief overview, and certain events will have in-depth videos dedicated to them within the future. So without further ado, let's begin.
Cast down the idols! Destroy the temples! Slay the priests! Show these fools that they worship nothing more than a rotting corpse!
Known more commonly as Chaos Space Marines,
that sounds like
Traitor
heresy
Marines,
right there.
or Heretic Astartes, the Traitor Legions are those Space Marines who turned against the Emperor and the Imperium thousands of years ago. Like their loyalist cousins, they are physically larger, stronger, and faster than regular humans, thanks in part to their genetic augmentation. They are also equipped with powerful and often ancient weapons and armor, making them a terrifying force upon the battlefield. Despite the Chaos Space Marines having their origins from the legions who sided with the War Master, Horus Lupercal, during the Horus Heresy, many loyalist Space Marines in more recent times have also fallen from the light, turning from the Emperor in order to embrace the ruinous powers. Despite maintaining a sense of Legion identity, the Traitor Legions have overall fractured into numerous other warbands, each with their own goals and vendettas, and will even sport unique heraldry to signify their new allegiances. Some become fanatical devotees to the Chaos Gods, while others become little more than pirates intent on plunder and murder. Whatever their goals, these corrupted Astartes are some of the oldest and deadliest threats to the Imperium.
The difference between gods and demons largely depends upon where one is standing at the time.
The incident that caused half the Legione Astartes to fall to chaos can be traced back to the events of the Great Crusade. The Wordbearers Legion, and in particular their Primarch, Lorgar Aurelian, would advocate the worship of the Emperor as a god.
Okay, Lorgar. I see where you got your name from.
Despite the Emperor's intent on spreading the imperial truth, which advocated science, logic, and reason over religious superstitions. The Word-Bearers Legion were the slowest at making worlds compliant and integrating them into the nascent Imperium, due to Lorgar's insistence that churches and cathedrals dedicated to the worship of the Emperor be constructed before the Legion moved on to the next war zone. The Emperor grew displeased, both at the Legion's religious fanaticism and their tardy progress. To this end, the Emperor would dispatch the Ultramarines Legion to the world of Kur in order to destroy the city of Monarchia, to show Lorgar and his Legion that the indoctrination and propagation of such beliefs would not be tolerated. Lorgar and his sons would be reprimanded by the Emperor in front of Rabute Guilliman and Malkador the Sigillite in the ruins of the city. It was this event that would cause the Word-Bearers' descent into chaotic corruption, as the Legion's first captain, Cor Phaeron, and first chaplain, Erebus, would remind the Primarch of the Old Faith of their homeworld of Colchis, which itself was the worship of the ruinous powers. Eventually, Lorgar would bring his Legion to the world of Cadia, where the Primarch would encounter a shaman known as Ingethel. It was Ingethel who would reveal the primordial truth of chaos to Lorgar, and warned that turning from the Chaos Gods would damn humanity to the same fate that befell the ancient Eldari Empire. Ingethel would then begin a ritual which would see her ascend to demonhood, and would lead the Shattered Sun chapter of the Word-Bearers on a great pilgrimage into the Warp Rift known as the Eye of Terror. It was this pilgrimage that fully converted Lorgar and his Legion to the worship of chaos, as the Primarch saw that the Emperor's imperial truth was a complete sham, and that gods did indeed exist. Several members of the Shattered Suns would also become bonded with warp-born entities, becoming known as the Gal Vorbak, or Blessed Sons in Colchisian. Using his newfound knowledge, Lorgar and his Legion would begin enlightening humanity to the lies of the Great Crusade and the primordial truth of chaos. This would eventually result in the corruption of many of the other Primarchs and their respective legions, leading to the events of the Horus Heresy and the birth of the modern-day Chaos Space Marines.
In the embrace of the great Nurgle, I am no longer afraid, for with his pestilential favor, I have become that which I once most feared: death.
While some Chaos Space Marines, such as the majority of warriors from the Alpha Legion or Night Lords, did not dedicate themselves fully to the Chaos Gods, several legions and warbands would fall under the sway of the ruinous powers. They would either devote themselves to Chaos Undivided, as shown with the Word-Bearers Legion, or they would dedicate themselves to one specific god. The savage and violent World Eaters Legion would fall to the worship of Khorne, the god of violence, bloodshed, and murder. Many, if not all warriors from the World Eaters, have become what are known as Khorne Berserkers. The Death Guard would become followers of Nurgle, the god of pestilence and decay. This resulted in the Battle Brothers of the Legion becoming the dreaded Plague Marines. The Emperor's children would fall to the depraved worship of the god Slanesh, the god of hedonism and pleasure. Several members of the Legion would undergo extensive bodily modification to make themselves more sensitive to stimuli as they craved to experience greater and more powerful sensations. Several members of the Legion would undergo even more extensive modifications, and wield noise-based sonic weapons in battle, becoming henceforth known as Noise Marines. The Thousand Suns would turn to the worship of Tzeentch, the god of magic and fate. All but the most powerful of the Legion's sorcerers would have their bodies turned to ash, their souls trapped within their armour becoming little more than automata thanks to a botched ritual known as the Rubric, conducted by the Legion's first captain and chief librarian, Azik Araman. These warriors have since become known as Rubric Marines. The surviving Primarchs of the Traitor Legions, Angron of the World Eaters, Fulgrim of the Emperor's Children, Magnus of the Thousand Suns, Mortarion of the Death Guard, Perturabo of the Iron Warriors, and Lorgar of the Word Bearers have all since become blessed by the Chaos Gods, having become great and mighty demon princes, and each has been gifted a world to rule over within the depths of the warp. While some of these demon Primarchs,
I'm sorry if I'm not saying much during this video, but I am in shock of what I'm hearing. I'm hearing of new Primarchs I've never heard of, and this is just wild to me. It's a whole nother thing to get into. Anyway, thanks for the recommendation, y'all.
such as Magnus, Angron, and Mortarion, will still lead their legions into battle on rare occasions. The others have since become either pawns in the great game of the Chaos Gods, or have otherwise become disinterested in mortal affairs. But becoming a chosen warrior of the Chaos Gods is not exclusive to these legions blessed with a god's patronage. Even within those warbands and legions not dedicated to the worship of the Chaos Gods, several Traitor Astartes will allow themselves to fall under the sway of the ruinous powers, and may even become blessed to become Khorne Berserkers, Plague Marines, or Noise Marines in their own right.
The Imperium is a weak old man, ready and waiting to be broken apart by his vengeful sons.
Wow.
Despite the events of the Horus Heresy being almost 10,000 years ago, the Traitor Legions continue to wage their war against the Imperium. This is known amongst Chaos Space Marines as the Long War. Many of the Astartes who continue their fight against the Imperium are those who fought during the events of the Horus Heresy itself. Following the defeat of Horus during the Siege of Terra, the majority of the Traitor Legion forces were driven back into the warp space rift known as the Eye of Terror. Thanks to the bizarre nature of the warp, where time can move forwards, backwards, and stand still all at once, these Traitor Marines have been able to survive until the present day. A period of only a few months to a couple of decades, or a century or two at most, could have been experienced by those Astartes who dwell within the Eye. However, not all Chaos Space Marines come exclusively from the remnants of the Traitor Legions. Sometimes individual battle brothers, squads, companies, or even entire chapters of loyalist Astartes will fall to the worship of chaos. Sometimes this is due to becoming corrupted by the influence of the warp, while at other times their betrayal comes as a result of becoming embittered towards imperial bureaucracy, or simply feeling unappreciated for their efforts in defending the Imperium. Whilst individual warbands will undertake their own missions and follow their own agendas, sometimes several warbands or even entire legions will become united by a powerful champion of the Chaos Gods and work together, bound by their mutual hatred of the Imperium and those who serve the so-called false Emperor. These incursions are known to the Imperium as Black Crusades, and they reap a devastating toll of death and destruction upon the Imperium. The master of the Black Legion and former first captain of the Sons of Horus, Ezekiel Abaddon, has himself led 13 of these crusades, with the most recent of which resulting in the destruction of the strategically important world of Cadia. And that concludes this edition of 40k Lore for Newcomers. If you liked this video, consider supporting us on Patreon for more content. To those who are new to 40k, we hope you learned something. So leave a comment below, and thanks for watching.
Alright y'all, that is the video, and This is a new branch of the Warhammer tree for me to go down. What do I think? I think some of those Space Marines were weak to jealousy, hubris, temptation. Their minds weren't of quality Space Marines anyway to fall to chaos. Let's be honest, they didn't fall to chaos, they chose chaos. Not to say that I don't believe chaos has an influence, but let's be honest, a real Space Marine would die for the service of the Emperor. And there are just so many legions. I saw the Salamanders there, Blood Angels, many of the other ones. So to me, they're just a mixed bunch of Space Marines. Like, I wonder if after a while they adopt the same colors or something like that, or do you just see a rainbow Space Marine armor when you fight these people? So many questions. But anyway, you could have been anywhere watching anything, but you were here with me, so I thank you. Till next time, I'm Gage G. Peace. That is a strange set of armor that you wear. I would call you a deviant of the sexual nature. One might even say you are horny, but that's just your breastplate's nipples.
You need help.